sake, for fuck's sake. What we gonna do, what we gonna do, for fuck's sake, for fuck's sake. The world's gone mad and I'm sharing it with you, for fuck's sake, for fuck's sake. So sit right down, grab a glass of wine, maybe a cup of tea and some chocolates, and join me for another, for fuck's sake. Welcome to today's edition of For Fuck's Sake with your fucking hostess, Judith Owen, and my fucking best friend, Julia Fordham, for the third time. The poor woman. She's so bored at this point.
It's you I'm worried about, audience. Like, not her again, for fuck's sake.
Not at all. There you go. I love the way you're coming along with the swearing. Excellent work.
An afternoon with Judith, we'll do that
Well,
too.
do it. Yeah, you start sounding like either a whore or a pirate, or maybe a pirate whore. Either way, part 3. Okay, so we got last episode. We got to America. We got to Larry Klein. We got to Joni Mitchell. We got to the first 4 amazing albums. What brought you here? Meeting each other, and from that point onwards, just like. Literally, it feels like an album every year. An incredible outpouring of music, the most remarkable songwriting, and I mean, we've seen each other through ups and downs and roller coasters and everything in between. But ultimately, it's always been that kind of, oh God, it's hard, isn't it? But isn't it marvelous? That's really it.
Well, funnily enough, I think I also stayed on after my 4th album, Falling Forward, and I did East West, also in America, with incredible composer Michael Brook. And I remember one of my first vivid memories is with you, is that the extremes of Judith Owen, that I had my convertible Mustang that I was hiring, that all English people have. And you were this incredible, to have this friend who's a singer-songwriter, was so supportive, we were like longing to hear the record. And I remember you blasting East West, and we were charging along PCH. And I think we decided it's probably best if you drive, because I'm a bit like the middle way also with my driving.
Well, I am Cabio. Yes, I know.
You are like Judith Cabio, and we were like charging through the Malibu hills, playing the song over. And you'd just done an album, then we played yours, and it was like boiling hot and freezing cold at the same time. So we had the heat blasting, and our heads were freezing, but we were like singing my album and singing yours. And
that is a very really visceral memory for me. Is every time I would have an album out, and I think we did this especially because the boy, by the way, you lived in the next street. That helped.
Exactly.
So it wasn't exactly hard, like, oh, come around the corner. It was, you were a lifesaver to me on so many levels. But we would go out and have the car. We'd do the drive, hearing the new album, and we've done it, and we've done it
every time. Pretty much,
I mean, you've done it, all the way up to the jazz. I mean, we've done it with every one of mine. We've had it basically balls to the wall, so loud it would make a rapper blush.
Love it. Yeah.
And it's just a fantastic thing. But I think what I want to do is a little bit of a deviation from where you'd think I might be going, which is like to continue talking about all these amazing albums, all these amazing songs. Okay. I actually want to dig a little deeper into the part of you that I think the viewers and I certainly know a bit about, because we've written together, we've been to writing camp together, to Chris Difford's writing camp together, which we love.
Chris Difford and that writing camp.
Yes, and we've worked so much together and enjoyed each other's company so much. And the thing that I'm always fascinated in other artists who I adore and admire and respect is how they write, the writing process. And I just, wanted to shine that light on how you write. I think I know, but I probably don't. You see, it's always so personal and so different.
My thing is different in that, I don't know, this is how I do it. I don't sit down to write songs. I do my thing. I live my life, and songs come to me, and I never force them, and I just allow them. So I think an example of that would be, so for say like Happy Ever After, that idea comes to me, and I definitely get the melody and the words together at the same time. So I will... feels like you're receiving it, because I don't really remember writing it. I'll hear like, don't ask me why I'm running out of laughter. There's tears in these eyes, not happy ever after. And I thought,
putting reverb on
now
you.
I might
do that again.
Don't ask me why I'm running out of laughter. There's tears in these eyes. Now I will get like an idea like that, and then pick up a guitar and start sort of messing with it. And another example would be something like Porcelain.
Ready?
Push that button.
Here we
I
go.
remember Porcelain. I was in a black cab coming home to my little flat, and this idea came to me like, I am very, very much in like with you. I hope that it's enough because it's all I can do. I was like, oh my God, that's such a good opener. And I remember running upstairs. And I just was like, I am very, very much in like with you. I hope that it's enough because it's all I can do. Because you treat my skin like porcelain, wearing special porcelain. Even though you know, I know you know that this is not the real thing. Oh, isn't it enough what I'm giving to you, baby? Oh, isn't it enough? Your kisses drive me crazy. Oh, isn't it enough? Isn't it enough? I remember being really excited by that. And sometimes I think when songs come through, you're like, oh, that's quite nice. But I felt like Porcelain with that opener about I'm very much in like with you. It was such a sort of honest reflection of where I was at that moment. And I felt very charged by that song. And going into the studio and having these incredible players like Manu Katché
Oh, gosh.
on drums, Pino Palladino on
He's
bass,
no slacker.
Dominic Miller on guitar.
Oh, good God.
Grant Mitchell on keyboards. And just like musically, I think the first album was kind of finding my way.
Yeah.
On that second album, I had Porcelain, Girlfriend, and Lock and Key, and I just absolutely knew it had to be Manu Katché, Pino Palladino, and Dominic Miller, and of course Grant was already in the camp. And again, with the record company, they were like, "Yeah, sounds like a plan. Sounds like a really expensive plan,
but
okay."
it's a plan.
And the recording of those songs, and I feel like Porcelain's probably my signature tune.
Yeah.
I never tire of singing it, and I feel like it's really the song that established me as a critically acclaimed singer-songwriter, for want of a better word. And that's kind of like an example of how I write.
I think Porcelain, as from an outsider's perspective, as a writer myself, it does the thing which I think our patron saint Joni Mitchell really does so well, which is to say something that's so universal but comes at it from such a different angle, but something that we all understand and know, which is you're having this romance and it's not the one.
Yeah.
It's not your future.
Yeah.
But it's so fucking gorgeous and you're so... But you can't promise to that person. And it's a really... It's the lyrics pull you in. The music pulls you in. But isn't that what it's about? It's about having that marriage of music and lyric that is just absolutely takes you... Absolutely pulls you in. And I think the thing that you mentioned, which I believe a lot of people feel... is that sense that sometimes you'll write something and when you hear it back, you're like, did I just do that? Is it that's you? It's that thing what people describe as channeling, but I think it's just your higher, most unconscious self, where it is you're open and those feelings, and that's what I love about you. It's the thing that I love. It's the thing that most people I love. You write about life. You write about. If you don't experience, if you don't see it around you, you can't write about it. And that's what the authenticity is from. And I think that it's an incredible gift that you have also to be somebody that is not afraid to be emotional in your voice and in your performance. It's something that I adore. It's something that I do. Just you can't help yourself. It's just your emotion is in your voice and what a voice it is, and that's really what's so extraordinary about it. And I've always felt that way, is that your strengths and fragilities come in completely.
Thank you.
In you, and it's such a human experience. And I think Porcelain, Girlfriend, and my personal favorite is Lock and Key. Lock and Key makes me go all weird and fuzzy inside. It just, of those three, it's remarkable. It kills me. And I do think it's something that absolutely everybody can relate to. And it's a really amazing thing. I'm not surprised, in hindsight, that Porcelain was absolutely as phenomenal as it was. The entirety of it, the whole package. But that's what I feel about you, is that you continue, I know, on a daily basis, and you don't force it. I understand this better than anybody. Why force it? You can only write about what you know.
Yeah.
But you are constantly writing, producing, even. And I'm kind of beside myself, because when you walked in today, you said, "I have a new song. Do you think there'd be something that you'd be interested in?" It's, fuck, what the fuck? So it amazes me, you know, and I love this. It's why, you know, it's what I love in others. It's other artists. I just adore it. It's that excitement and joy that you carry in writing, in having created something new. It's so, I can't put into words how it feels. It's a very hard thing to describe, but there's an elation that goes with it, as well as a certain bit of, like, your little heart is breaking with so much of it. But it is an amazing thing. Do you, I'm sure you, I think you still get, of course you do, that feeling of, what is it? The contentment, the amazement of
I think there's
something coming.
There's something when it's coming in. I mean, when you were saying about maybe talking a bit about the process, I thought, well, why don't I really be honest? And I don't really want to sing a new song. I'm way out of my comfort zone, but it's you. And I just thought it would just be so much more interesting for people who know me and would like to hear something. And that I can explain that idea of this song called Table has been in my head for 4 years. So when I was thinking, well, what could I sing that's new? Let me think of a new song. All of my new songs are sat in my head. Well, why don't I sing this song? And then I went and picked up the guitar this morning, and I just put like a very simple version. But the melody and the lyrics I've been very satisfied with and have sat in my head for all this time, until there was an opportunity to bring it out. Now, there've been a lot of delays in getting to recording my next album, but just sort of hearing it, for me, is the first time. The way that you're hearing it is like, that's how they come out. They can, Elvis Costello said, good songs never go off. And when I sang Table out loud, I thought, it's really strong, and I'm really proud of it. And I felt moved because I was reminded of the totally authentic feeling that it represented. I wept when I wrote this song because it came through. Every word of it is true.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's when you take the business side out of it, I'm able to identify myself as, how I think of myself is that I am a singer-songwriter. That is my job on the earth. That is my calling. It's my path. And that's what I'm meant to do. Whether nobody hears it, whether I got hit by a bus tomorrow and nobody heard Table, against whatever challenges present themselves, and there are always a lot, I must try and see myself as someone who has this voice and these songs. So for whatever reason, it's my duty to therefore get them out one way or the other.
I absolutely agree, and that is so clear in you. I remember Harry saying long ago, far away, "You're an artist. This is what you're here to do."
Yeah,
and you can't help but
So
this is it. You have a duty
to
the art, to the fact that you got this gift, and you must, because in some ways, of course, as most of us know, it really is the love of our lives, apart from obviously your beautiful daughter. But you know what I mean? It's just like it's a constant. It's a constant. It is your identity, but it's so who you are, and it's a delight to see. And I think that there's been these experiences where you and I've been in a room, often in your house, sometimes, you know, having parties here, where somebody's picked up a guitar or sat at the piano and performed, and you and I have just been like, chills, goosebumps, hair on the back of the neck, because that's the shit.
Yeah.
And that's as good as it can get. So I'm beside myself with happiness that you have come here with this song at risk. I know it's not your comfort, but it is your old mung here. And I adore watching you sing, and I know it's going to be splendid. So
thank you. And
please,
sure
please introduce
who's been
it.
through a separation will feel the sentiment of this song, but also like the separation of a family. And, this song just came to me. It's centered around my actual table that I still have, which I believe I bought with you, Judith
bought
Owen.
it with me?
From Pamper, up the road in Santa Monica. My car, my couch, and my table. So it's that same table that I still have. And that table has seen me through, being single, from having a family to the breakup of that family. And, I will still look at my table and go, I bloody love you, table.
Yeah.
Thank you for holding my elbows up and my head in my hands for all these years. So here's my song, Table. I knew that this day would come, and I'd find out you'd found someone. I thought that I would be relieved. Instead, I'm weeping in my sleep. At this table, God is made of solid, the lone witness, darkness we did. Oh, that we could. At this table where we ate 10,000 meals on matching plates, roses in the candlelight, through the thorn-filled screaming fires. At this table, God is made of solid wood, the lone witness, God knows we did. Oh, that we could. And when your family came to town, 24 elbows crowded around the crown, and the red wine stains the shape of love will always change. Bless this table God is made of solid wood, strong and able, capable of holding my elbows and my head and my hands up for good.
Well, that was the third part in my conversation with the gorgeous Julia Fordham. And can you believe that beautiful, heartbreaking song? Yes, you heard it first. Somebody's calling me and I'm not going to answer them. It's Pam. But here's the thing. When you tune into FFS, exclamation mark, you get to see things like that. Thank you so much again, Julia Fordham, for being such a great friend over the years, but also being such an amazing collaborator, truly. And speaking of which, it would not be possible for me to finish one of the shows, at least, especially after hearing that gorgeous song, with a little bit of Julia and myself. Yes, it's our party piece way back in the day when I did an album called 12 Arrows, and I hadn't really known Julia that long. I was so in love with her, and I thought, my God, we have those two voices. You know, we used to call it pipes and husk, where she had that incredible voice, and I had a husky Welsh voice, and we decided we'd call ourselves that. And that we would harmonize together, because good grief do we love harmonizing, I swear, we just adore it. Any excuse, Christmas is always good, as you all know. So I wrote the duet that scares me with her voice in mind, and for us to sing that together. And it has been a standout and a favorite and definitely the best party piece we have ever had together. But, you know, I think there's maybe an opportunity for us to do more of that, but also to do a lot more of what you just saw us do, which is to have a great conversation. Straight from the hip, two gals, two girlfriends. It's pretty nice watching us together. Even I would admit that. And I think even you can admit. And Matt, would you admit that?
Absolutely.
There he is.
100%.
So let's finish this episode of FFS with That Scares Me. I don't even know when it was that we did this, Matt, but we did it as a special recording for the show, I think it was, or for something, I don't know what it was for, but here we are in the room singing together live. I will see you next Sunday for another episode. This has been your hostess with the mostest love of Singing with Julia Fordham, saying, all right, for fuck's sake, what is going on in the world? Thanks for watching. Love you.
I'm no ordinary girl with ordinary needs, and I want to thank you for the times when I'm not strong, the times when you concede, and I want to thank you for having the kind of love that scares me, that scares me.
On no Sunday in the sand, on no picnic in the park, and I want to thank you for the way you understand when I'm a child lost in the dark, and I want to thank you for having the kind of love that scares me, that scares me. It scares me. Oh, it scares me.
Oh, and I wasted so much time fighting what I need, and I want to thank you for the kindness in your eyes. I'll tell you how I really feel, and I want to thank you for having the kind of love,
Having the kind of love,
having the kind of love that scares me, that scares me. Oh,
and I want to thank you.
oh, for the love